I was at the home of a friend of mine who is a really high level, super motivated businessman. And his family is fantastic. And he said to me, Nicholeen, we got to conquer some of these behaviors that we're seeing here. And so could you please help us? And I said, okay. And I said, well, what types of chores do your children do? And he kind of gave me this blank stare like, well, I mean, they help out sometimes. And I said, well, what is your feeling about work? Knowing this guy is so motivated, right? I mean, he's high level motivated. He's the kind of person that someone would call into their business to motivate their team of people to work harder. And I said, well, what do you think about work? And he's like, well, I want my children to have a really good work ethic. And I want them to see that they can accomplish anything. And I said, well, then they've got to work. They've got to do more than just help out occasionally. They need chores. In this video, we are going to talk about how chores teach life skills. Work is the hallmark of a successful person. It's the American dream. The American dream isn't get whatever you want so you have a good standard of living. The American dream is work as hard as you want so that you can get what you want to have the standard of living that you want. That is the American dream. It revolves around work. I wondered if this family had not been doing chores just because maybe they could pay somebody else to come over and do the chores for them. Or maybe they weren't doing chores because chores seemed like not a nice thing to do to somebody. I don't know. I don't remember if we had that part of the conversation, but I do remember this. That family got really good at doing chores. In fact, the parents and children were so excited to do chores. It was liberating for the family. Chores? Liberating? Wait, isn't the goal, especially in business, to do the least amount of work possible? To have passive income? Isn't that everybody's goal? I hope not. I hope our goal is to do work that matters, to do work that builds and lifts. Sitting around being lazy all day, that's how Rome fell. I don't think our societies need that right now. So chores have been given a kind of bad rap, even by parents. Parents know they should teach their children to do some basic chores because they're going to have to exist on their own sometime. But over the years, what is considered as basic has become less and less and less. It's not the point of this video to criticize or critique what are the best chores and what aren't. But I hope that you'll ask yourself the question, have I really taught my children how to really love work and that it's okay? In fact, it's a positive thing in their life? Or have I taught them, let's just get done with the work and then we'll do something that we like? Can't the work time be good too? Oh, today we get to Yarden together as a family. I know that's not a word in anybody else's home but ours. In the Peck family, we say Yarden. And in the spring and summer and fall months of the year, our family yardens, which means we work in the yard or the gardens, for hours each day, sometimes even the entire day. And we just enjoy it. We just do the work. And we talk with each other. And my children know how to grow things. And they know how to make dirt out of compost materials. They know how to can food and store it. They know how to cook, how to take care of a home, how to do basic maintenance on machines and homes. That's all work. Those are also all life skills. So doing chores is the beginning. It's opening the door to learning how to be an adult and learning the skills that are required to feel confident at that phase of life. In this video, we're going to talk about the value of a chore so that we fully understand what we're giving to our children when we do give them chores. In the rest of this video, we're going to talk about the two different ways that chores can be used to help a person develop the adult skills that they need to be successful later in life. So what is the value of a chore? Chores are good. Hopefully we're all on the same page with that right now. Otherwise you probably wouldn't have looked up this video in the first place. Chores create good problem solvers. When a person is given a task to do, they have to use parts of their brain that don't get used except for to solve those types of problems. Lots of times tactical, hands-on, manipulative type problems. It's a great thing for a person to do. Chores infuse children with confidence. When the BBC contacted our family and asked us if we would take 2 troubled youth into our home and if they could film it and then call us the world's strictest parents, we said yes. I don't know. We thought we were maybe crazy at first, but we did it. And you can see it in that video in the corner. But when they brought us these troubled youth into our home, they were both ages 17 and both of them did not know how to work. We taught them how to pull an onion out of the ground, and they were so appalled by how gross the dirt was around the onion that you would have thought that we had asked them to perform surgery. But after just a couple of days, they were confidently doing jobs and helping out and making dinner for the family as a special surprise. Things changed. In fact, it all started changing when James, the 17-year-old boy, got the opportunity to clean a bathroom. He earned a negative consequence, and that negative consequence was an extra chore, which we use a lot in our family. And he said to my husband, "May I disagree appropriately about this chore?" And my husband said, "Sure," because we like that skill. We taught him to use this skill. And he said, "I know you want me to clean this bathroom, but I've never cleaned a bathroom before." My husband hid his surprise that a 17-year-old would not know how to clean a bathroom yet. And he said, "Oh, okay, well, I'll teach you." So my husband taught him how to clean a bathroom, and then took him to another bathroom and said, "Okay, now you get to clean this one, and I'll stay here with you so you can ask me questions." He cleaned that bathroom, and he was so proud. He came running to get me. Nicholeen, come look at this. Come look at this bathroom. This is so good. I have never done this before. When I get home, I am going to clean the bathroom, and my mom is going to die. That's what he said. Confidence? Yeah. Knowing how to do something that you didn't know how to do before sets you free and builds confidence. We have a lack of confidence problem in our society today. I wonder if it has anything to do with us not doing enough of our own manual labor. Work can be great bonding activities. Like I mentioned before, me and my children work together every day. Sure, they have their own jobs and chores that they do, but we also do chores together as a family during family work time. Chores are vital for helping a child launch from home. If a child does not do enough chores, they're not going to be ready to have the adult skills needed to launch when it's the time. That's another issue that modern society is facing. Children aren't feeling confident to go out on their own, to take on adult life, to drive their own cars, and to get married, and to move on to the next phases of their future. If they worked more, if they had more opportunities solving problems and doing hard work, they would have additional confidence and foresight to want to launch from the home. Doing chores decreases selfishness because maybe sometimes you don't want to do the chore, whatever it is, but you still have to keep going. You have to tell yourself, "No, self, I know you don't want to do this, but I've got to finish it." In our family, we teach our children to follow instructions, so the last step of that skill set that they learn is to come and check back, which means they have to return and report to us that they have it done. And then we praise them afterward for their efforts, and we take a look at what they've accomplished. When the person has to make themselves go through that task, they have to put off the selfishness, put off the entitlement, and tell themselves it's possible and that they must continue. Chores also add to family unity. When people usually think of something they can do to unite with their family, they usually think of activities like let's go to the park or let's go get ice cream or something like that. But they don't think of chores being something that can create family unity too. Some of my most precious memories are memories of pairing pears with my mother for hours for a whole day and having conversation and painting a fence with my father, replacing a roof with my father, covering up our roof that was all exposed in the middle of a rainstorm, and getting drenched and laughing about it afterward. Those are memories that are etched in my mind forever. They're work memories, they're chore memories, they're family memories. There are two different ways that you can use chores to help develop adult skills and confidence in a person. One is to give a person daily chores so that they have responsibilities daily. Now, I suggest working as a family for a portion of time and then also giving daily responsibilities to somebody. So you can have a chore chart if you'd like to, or you can just look around and say, for your chore today, this is what needs to be done. There's many ways that you can assign chores to people. But sometimes people like a chart just in case the parents forget to assign the chores to the children. Anyway, daily chores are good. They teach a person to self-govern, to make a plan, and to get something done. The second way that we use chores in our family is part of our family economy. The family economy is the way that we govern our household. It's our system of credits and debits, positive and negative consequences. We use extra chores as our main negative consequence. And I know some people think, but then won't they hate work? No, they don't. If you do work enough, work does not intimidate you. Work is something that you just do. It's no big deal. And that's how my children feel about work. In fact, every child that has come to live with me as a foster child or a treatment child, they've all learned to not be fazed by work. It's just a thing you do, you just get it done, it's no big deal, and you move on. Work also can be done quickly. Lots of parents try to take things away from their children for negative consequences. Number one, the child doesn't really have to accept that consequence, which then makes it so that they can't learn self-government, which is one of our high priorities in our family. But also, that child has to have whatever it was taken away from them linger for how long? A day? A week? When they do a chore, they just do it, they get it done, life's back to normal. It's the most merciful thing we can do for a negative consequence, and it's something that they have to do, not something we do to them. They chose it, they accept it, they follow through, they get praised for it. It's them, their journey, their self-government, their mastery, their confidence building. One of the reasons that we use chores for a negative consequence in our family is because one of my favorite authors, Samuel Smiles, who wrote a book called Character back in the 1800s, said, "Work is the antidote for a sick character." If a person cannot happily do chores or work, if they can't decide that those things are okay, then probably they're having a character problem. Probably they're being a bit selfish. That's where work comes in to help. Work is the antidote for a sick character. It pulls you out of your own brain. It gives you another project to focus on. It puts things in perspective. Whenever you do a job, you're face to face with the laws of nature usually. And that brings truth to you, which sometimes you need when your brain's getting a little bit too emotional. Chores are just one piece of the puzzle for teaching a person self-government and increasing confidence like we've been talking about. Families also need to know how to solve problems together. There is a video I know you will love. It's coming up next, and it's called How to Avoid Power Struggles with Your Child. Take a look at that video. It's going to give you so much more. I know you're going to like what you find there. Good luck on your self-government journey.